All right, so welcome everyone to the final session of the Art of the Lingo course for this year. It's been 6 weeks. Lynn was saying, well, I can't believe it's gone so quickly. But I guess it's been pretty intense for a lot of people, and that sort of intensity maybe creates some time collapse or something. But I also found it does just seem to fly by, doesn't it? So we're gonna start off the session with a little sharing expression, if you like. If everyone just wants to return maybe 5 minutes to say, what your key takeaway from the course was, any other benefits you experienced, any challenges, anything you want to share, but keep it fairly brief, because we've got quite a lot to get through today. Just sort of 5 minutes. So who wants to start?
Me then.
Okay.
Okay, so yes, it's. I thought 6 weeks was going to be a really long time because this work is every day of the week, but actually it's gone really, really, really quickly. It doesn't seem like even a month, let alone 6 weeks. I've learned so much. I feel like I've changed so much. I've had so many realizations, awarenesses, and things that have changed for me. The main thing I can say that's changed for me that I'm seeing over and over is I've gone into a flow of abundance. I go in and out of flows of abundance. I guess most people do, but this one feels really strong, and I'm benefiting from it massively. I'm getting more and more work. I was getting support from the government with my business that's just ended during this course. And I was really worried about things like paying my rent and stuff like that. And although it's only just happened, I've actually got a lot more work, and I'm not worried about paying my rent. So fingers crossed that will may it continue. But I feel more peaceful. I've had things come up. I've had days where I've had physical symptoms, and I felt, all sorts of emotions, and it is an emotional thing to do, this course, but it's great because when it comes up to be healed, I feel like I've healed more of it. I've still got more to learn, but I've loved it. It's been amazing. The whole group of people have been amazing. Jono, you're great at leading us, and the whole group. I've learned from every single person. I'm really grateful. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, thanks for that. Yeah, I mean, I think your examples inspired others, finding the flow and your higher purpose. We inspire each other.
That's the thing. I thought I knew my higher purpose, but this course has just clarified it. I absolutely know I'm on the right course. There's tweaks to be had, but it's just confirmed it for me. I'm absolutely on my right path, sharing my love of nature, sharing my pictures, working with animals, doing all those things, plus the spiritual stuff. It's just confirmed it for me.
Yeah, brilliant. Anything else particularly stood out for you?
Oh God, there's so many things. Just the little realizations. I remember that one evening when I was the last person left on the call, and you and I did the work together. It was crazy. It's just, they're going to sound silly because other people probably got it already, but I can just remember saying to you, about the difference between the kind of the human and the spirit. I'm not using the right words, and I said, but then what will happen when I have that realization that I am purely spirit? What will happen? And you went, you just see it, you just live your life through spirit. It sounds so crazy, but that changed me completely, because I was expecting it to be complicated. It's like, of course, I'm just seeing it through spirit, and that is what I'm doing. That's why it's different. That's what I've changed. That that was probably one of the big the big changes.
Big realizations.
Funny
Yeah.
little comment, and
Yeah.
was it.
It's so simple. You know, the truth is simple. Isn't it? It's just like something clicks into place. You go, oh yeah.
It was
You
the
know, it's
last
not
piece.
actually.
Yeah.
No, it's
It's
not
almost there.
actually that complicated. It's just live your life guided. You know, that's where he leaves us. At the end of the 365 lesson, he says, you know, if you need a word will be given. If you need a thought will come. If you need an action will come. You know, it'll all come as and when you
And it
need it.
does.
And you know, at one month, the final, you know, letting go and going back to God. Well, God takes the final step, so you don't have to worry about that. But in the meantime, live your life in this guided, miraculous way, in the flow of life and abundance. You know, what he called abundant life. In the Bible, you shall have life more abundantly. Well, you know, it's exactly that experience of feeling happier, more peaceful. It's an inner state. And then that gets reflected in the outer circumstances, such as, you know, money and doing something that fulfills you and so on. So, you know, all I can say is well done. And thank you to Sue, who I don't think will probably be joining us today, Sue Brainard, for making it possible. This was it was a miracle that she gifted you the course, didn't she? So.
And I did send her a thank you.
Yeah.
In the post.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. Yeah, but I just wanted to acknowledge it because
you
know, that's what it's about. It's about sharing. You know, she's done, and she's like, well, I got so much from it. I don't want to do it this time, but you know, I'll gift it to someone else to do. So you know, that was you. So
thank you,
this,
everyone.
this shows you how supported you are. You know?
Yeah, it's been amazing.
So yeah, well, you know, all I can say is well done, and keep going. You know, we're going to carry on.
I intend to. I'm not stopping now.
Yeah, the thing with 6 weeks is you can have a breakthrough insight and transformation, but you know, going forward, there's ongoing life carries on happening. Things don't just you know, the challenges don't stop, and so it's about continuing.
I've still got stuff to do. Yeah, I'm still getting signs. Like when a lady fell off of a boat into the mud day before yesterday, and I've got this thing about falling into mud. I thought, well, I've still got that one to work on then, whatever that is.
Yeah, I mean, it's ongoing work. You know, things carry on. Life doesn't stop. Challenges, as long as you're seemingly human, you know, the stuff continues because that's the human condition. We get, you know, we're in the illusion. Challenges continue, but if you're listening to spirit, it's so much easier to deal with them. Life just becomes much smoother, more peaceful, and you know, you carry on learning. Once you're on this track, I think have you got the idea. Maybe everyone hopefully has that. This is the way to go. This is the way of life. No, I'm not going to go back to the old way.
Change.
So it's a life transformation. Okay, it's a new way of looking at the world, a new way of living, which this course has been a catalyst for. And then it's like, okay, well now, you know, this is the end of the beginning. So, you know, you carry on working, integrating, so that you can live your life, you know, continuously in that state, more and more.
The plan.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, so thanks for that share. Anyone else like to share their perspectives on the course? Anything you learned, like key takeaways, any challenges you had, any miracles, anything like that? It'd be amazing.
Yeah, well. Good. Go, Sally, if you want.
Okay. What came to me this morning about the course was it's amazing that I could find 7 hours a day to do it. If you'd have said to me 2 months ago, yeah, be on Zoom for 7 hours in a day and do meditations and do the exercises and focus on, you know, meditations and things, I'd have said it's not possible. But it is possible. And now I realize if I can fit that much time in doing this work, you know, doing like we've done on the course, that I can do it in everyday life. So how much more I can fit into my life? And I did that by letting go of all the time wasting activities that were ego based and not helping me become the person I wanted to be. So it's been a very good lesson in that sense. I really enjoyed the expression sessions. Having a space to share at the deepest level any day of the week is quite, well, that's life-changing in itself. I feel so much more awake, aware. My separate self has now taken a back seat. And I've had daily insights through the course. Every day that I've come on a live call, I've had insights that I wondered about all my life. So yeah, an amazing space. Couldn't recommend it more.
Anything particularly stand out for you?
The space that you hold, the way you hold it, your kindness, your generosity. That's what holds it all together.
Thank you. Well, it's really the spirit, you know. I just try and let go, and just kind of happens. But I suppose it happens because, you know, I've done a lot of work, and you know, allow it to happen. So
takes a lot of work.
You know,
takes a lot of work to sit back and let it happen.
Well, to get out the way and just allow the spirit to guide it. And I guess that's the demonstration of the teaching. It's like, well, if you really do allow the spirit, then it works. It's very good at what it does. You know, it'll guide you to be eloquent and calm and composed and hold space and compassionate and kind, and you know, all of that. It's not really you doing it, because you can't. You know, you can't do it. That's the thing. Your separate self can't do it. It's only the higher self and the Holy Spirit that can. So, yeah, it's been. I have to say, it's been a pleasure for me. I've really enjoyed this course. It's been intense. You know, I've had to work pretty hard, but yeah, it's probably been the most rewarding course I've run, because I've just seen so many transformations. You know, people changing, literally real time. You know, you see it, like that session Lynn mentioned. You know, you just see, that's a major insight. You know, and that's why I do what I do. It's amazing just to see people shifting and changing and transforming their lives in front of your eyes. There's no better thing you can do, you know, for me anyway, with my time. So thank you to everyone who's joined, and you know, made it what it is. I'm just a facilitator. If no one shows up, then nothing happens. So it's required everyone to participate and really, you know, put your heart and soul into it, which I think everyone has who's participated actively. You know, has really given it their all, and that's made, I think, a community, hasn't it? I get to feel like it's not just a course; it's a community that will continue, because you know, we want to carry on hanging out with each other and sharing time and insights and helping each other on the ongoing journey. So, thank you to everyone. You know, from me, I've really enjoyed it and benefited from it as well. Okay, anyone else like to share?
Yeah, I kind of join what Lynn and Sally have said so far, and I just wanted to add that it's been a very supportive, beautiful group of beautiful people, and it's exactly what I needed. So I know I found the course, and it came to me at the right time, you know, or is at the right time. The perfect time in my life where I needed it most. So it really helped me to deal with like deep-seated the core beliefs. I mean, I'm sure all of us can relate as well to that we think we have dealt with some like deep-seated core belief, but then we find out there's more layers and more layers to release, to let go of, and like ongoing. But for me, it was Yeah, I think it's through the letting go meditations, like the daily practice of the letting go meditation and like some release prayers that I've done. I really found like deep shift or deep insight as well. And then all the synchronicity started happening from that moment. I think from these undoing of the core beliefs, the core beliefs and yeah, I would have loved actually to see what were the core beliefs of everyone that came out to be unfolded, because it's nice to be able to heal, like if there are other core beliefs that maybe needed more healing, to see what they may be. But yeah, I know we've helped each other so much through this undoing of deep-seated core beliefs that kind of kept us stuck. And
well, it's always the same, isn't it? The core belief's the same.
Yeah.
Just a variation on it. So I'm not worthy
I'm
of
not
love.
worthy of love. I'm
good
not
enough.
good enough. Yeah. So it's those are
It's
the
the same. It's just well, it's the same thing, isn't it? It's the lack of worthiness of love. Ultimately, is what it comes down to.
Denying
expressive.
the love. Yeah. Or denying the love.
Denying the love that you are, which is denial of yourself, as you know, as the Course is saying. And I think did you find the exercises helpful in actually allowing you to live the Course? You know, the theory is there. You know, it's very clear in the text. He talks about the false self, but it's about actually seeing that personally, you know, personalizing, saying, okay, it's not just a theory. You know, how does this play out in my own life? How do I believe in a false self? What is my false self? And then what is my true self? So it's experiential rather than just theoretical. Which is, you know, what the process is designed to do. Did you find it helpful in that?
I find helpful what Lynn was saying when we had those translation interpretation session. You could experience and actually feel more the subtle shift through that translation. I think it was like as you were affirming these translations and really like integrating the text, like the language, that's when you were able to understand more, you know, what was really the lessons of the Course in Miracles, like the deep message underneath that. So for me, it really helped me to grasp the deep meaning of the book of the ACIM, because it's kind of repetitive, you know, but it's still like the same powerful lessons, or even the text reinforces those lessons. And for me, that's where it really helped me to understand more what the Course was about, and really focus on coming back to the true self, because that's basically it. Always come back to the true self, or who we truly are. So yeah, so that's where it helped me, I would say, through the text, really. And the lessons, because we reinforce it with the lessons, in the day.
I think that text, you know, how we did the text this time with the personalization and then meditating on that personalized version. I think that's a winner, and we've got to stick with that, because
I really enjoy those meditation actually on the text. Like at night, I would fall asleep I would just listen to this before I fell asleep, and maybe that probably did its thing while I was sleeping, you know, probably also integrated into my subconscious and reprogrammed my mind, you know, as well, I think, and somehow, because I know meditations are powerful. So I love meditating. That's what I enjoy the most, to stay calm and shift this existential fear, as you would call it. Existential
anxiety
that I still feel like, even like, it's crazy, like even now, like talking it's weird even now, and I've done it so many times, and I've held space as well, and I've sang, but it's like the existential anxiety that's just there to show me I'm alive somehow.
But so showing you the ego has still got a little bit of a hole, but that, you know, that's the ongoing work. It's like that's the ongoing practice and work. You know, no one's in 6 weeks you can make breakthrough. You can make breakthroughs. You can have insights, but you know, to attain full enlightenment, like that's totally free of ego, is a lifetime's work.
Generally,
it's, you know, it's ongoing. So the practice continues. Tomorrow we can carry on. Fortunately, there's a whole year's content and another 330 lessons and 26 chapters of the text and the manual for teachers, and so there's no shortage of material to work through. So I'm hoping everyone will carry on the journey with us, and we continue to meet every day and do pretty much the same form. We're just going to focus on the text this year because we can't do both in one session. So we'll focus on the text, but each text reading is a lesson, really, isn't it? If you heard how we're doing, each text reading has a profound lesson. So, and then the lessons, will be in the communications, and there'll be recordings because I recorded each one last year. So we'll have access to recordings, and then we do one live session a day, and that's sustainable for me and others. I can't keep this up over every year. It's too much.
Yeah, it is quite intense. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just want to say thank you to you and everyone, because it's been an amazing journey, and I'm very grateful and appreciative for this whole time spent together. It's been really evolving, a beautifully evolving journey. So thank you. You are a great space holder.
Yeah, well, thanks for your joining and for your contribution. Your laughter yoga session was great. It's just kind of lightened everything. So I guess on that note, very good.
Very good. Yay!
Very
good. Yay!
Hey, yeah, a little bit of lightness and humor. So perhaps we can do a session every now and then. It's a week or something, just to lighten things up. Okay, so thanks for that share. Anything else you want to share already? Or?
Yeah, I'm not sure at that stage. I'm gonna continue with the daily practice, the daily interpretation and translation. I feel like I need to focus on my higher purpose now. So yeah, and I will continue to do the lesson probably. But yeah, I feel like I've got enough tools actually, and I was already receiving confirmation before I joined the course that I had all the tools I needed already, but I just needed to work on a deeper level on myself. But yeah, I feel like I'm ready to continue my journey towards my higher purpose. Yeah. So thank you.
Has the course helped you clarify that?
I think it's I don't know if it's the course or it's everything together, or if it's the inner work as well that I've been doing. I mean, the forgiving, I did a lot of forgiveness throughout the course, a lot of releasing, a lot of letting go. So I think everything contributed, to be honest, everything. I think
you already, as you said, you've been doing the work for a while, but it was just needed a catalyst to say, okay, now it's time to just let go of whatever's, you only hold yourself back.
Yes.
Let go of those blocks to the awareness of love's presence and your purpose, and go for it. Allow yourself to be inspired. So yeah, I'll talk to everyone. I'd like to do a one-on-one with everyone during the week. So I'll talk to you about the way forward, and there's hopefully a way you can still join, not necessarily every day, but you can join once a week or just be a part of the group and get content. There's a number of options. So I'll be communicating with you about that individually, and then I'll send out some communication about it tomorrow as well.
Okay, thank you.
The way forward. So hopefully you'll find a way to continue on in the community, because that's what it's about, supporting each other and connecting with like-minded people every day. It's really helps. Okay. Thank you, Riley, for the share.
Jonah.
Anyone else? Yeah. Okay. Namaste.
Namaste.
I think I'd just like to say that I am so appreciative of recognizing my true self think that's been the best thing for me, because I think I've just had this really great fear, and every time I almost get there, I put up all these blocks. So at some point I've let that go, and I just love tapping into that feeling now of who I feel I really am. Yes, and then me as who I really am can go on and do the journey. It's just brilliant. And just giving up my job, I mean, I just didn't think that would happen, and now I feel ready. I just, it's amazing. It's amazing. So thank you so much. Oh my gosh.
Thank
Yeah.
the spirit. Yeah.
Yeah.
You showed up, you did the work, and
It-
we've done some one-on-ones as well, because you
Yeah.
had some times where it was difficult to get through some of those emotions, but you kept on, and the reward is there for you to
yeah,
experience
and I can feel the emotions now, but in a really good way, in a really positive way. So it's like, yeah, wonderful, beautiful. You're all beautiful people, Mwah, and I love you all very much.
Yeah, love you too. Anything else you want to share? Anything stand out? I mean, the higher purpose. I think that was probably for you the biggest thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Anything else?
I just think what I noticed, the biggest shift happened was when we flipped our flock. So literally on that Sunday where we did the second one, it was just really highlighted to me, and that's when I felt able to allow my true self to connect with my true self. So having all that said back to me of who I really am was really moving, actually. So
the positive
feedback, yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, it's powerful when you hear it from other people. That's why we do the exercise. Both are powerful. Naming your game is powerful because it shows you, okay, well, this is your stuff. You need to let it go. You need to flip it around. And then the positive is like affirming, no, but actually, you're not that. Your true self is all those qualities that came up, and then that's the basis for a new identity, a new life. It's profound, extraordinary. It's like you can just this is what it means to be reborn. They talk about being reborn in Christian terms. I don't think most Christians know what that means. What does that actually mean to be reborn? It doesn't mean you just accept Jesus as your savior. It means your entire life changes. You see things with different eyes. You're a different self. Your perspective on life radically shifts, and suddenly you live in a new world. And you learn to live again. Okay, it's a whole new ball game. That's what it means. So I think you've had that experience. And, there's no going back. Once you've awakened, there's no going back.
Now I felt it. I know it's there. So even if I do I'm still gonna the ego is still going to be charging around. But it's just I know that feeling is there, and I can grab onto it, and that's going to motivate me forward. So fabulous.
Yeah. Well, once you've broken through, it's there. You can never fully go back into the ego. As you say, it might come and do its thing, because that's what the ego does. But there's enough awareness in to say, no, I know there's another way. I know the true self is there. So, and it's a matter of time, hopefully a very short time, to correct it and say, okay, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to dwell in the ego. When I know what's there, I know I can let it go quite quickly and get back to a state of calm. You're calm. You're always wearing that.
My calm.
That calm, space, calm and peace and joy.
And I think what is carrying on the course. The daily stuff that you send out. That will help, because it feels the support is here, always here, and well, it's a daily reminder as well, isn't it? So yeah, absolutely. And just to know,
Yeah.
and this space is here, which is amazing. Really
Yeah,
amazing.
I think what I wanted to do was not do an amazing course and then drop people and say, okay, that's it. 6 weeks, off you go. Your life's transformed, and that's
Mhm.
it. See you, maybe on another course or the next program. Yeah. So the ongoing program and community means that this can become a part of your life. It's there. Remember, it's part of your life. You don't have to join every day. You can dip in, when you want. You can listen to recordings when you want, but there's always there's a support system there. If you need it, you just tap in, and it helps you stay vigilant. Yeshua says very clearly, as long as you're still in time and space, you believe you're here, and you believe you're still human, you have a clear-cut need for vigilance. You have to be vigilant of the ego because you're living in the ego's domain, and the world operates on egoic principles. So you're going to be challenged. This is not a thought system that is common yet in this world. You're going to encounter the alternative all the time, and then it's to stay strong. And no, I know that this is correct, and I'm getting the backing of a community and teaching coming in every day to remind me, this is actually correct, even though the world doesn't believe this. This is actually the correct way, and it's the way I choose. So it keeps you on your path. So the journey continues tomorrow. The work doesn't stop. But this is really just the end of the beginning. Think of it as the end of the beginning of a new life, and that's quite exciting. Yeah. So anything else to share, like about anything else in the course, meditations, live sessions, anything you found stood out?
I love the letting go meditation. Yeah, that's really helped. I mean, all of it. I mean, there's still a lot of content that I haven't been able to even go through yet because the time element of it. And I feel like it's still there on my phone, and I still listen to it whenever I go out in the car or wherever I've got time. It's on in the background, and even going over the same ones again. It's just lovely to have it all there. And every time you listen to something, you learn something else from it anyway. So I could just keep listening.
Well, I think that's an important point. It's just whenever you're doing anything, you're driving, walking around, you can be listening, and it's just going in on some level. The ideal is being a live session. That's not always possible because it takes 100% focus to be here. But the recordings are there, and you've got on the Telegram group, you've got a whole back. There's loads. You never need material. You can do it. We're gonna Yad and I's Yad here today. We're gonna do a portal, so the material will be available, more easily searchable and available on the portal, which will be nice. But I think listening regularly is important because you just reprogram. It's going in there, subconscious programming, and that's probably part of the reason why you had the shift. It's just you've just deprogrammed, and then the catalyst comes with an exercise, but it's a process. And you mentioned during the course that one experience you had where you just walked around and suddenly you just saw everything differently. Do you want to talk about that?
Well, it just kind of happens, doesn't it? You're just going along, and then suddenly you're in this state of, I'm not seeing through my eyes. I'm actually seeing this world through my mind, and it kind of it takes you out of yourself, and you're just in this different awareness. And I just felt like I just want to remember this. I just want to remember this feeling because this is how it is. So amazing.
It was the real, you saw the real world.
Yeah.
Once you've had a glimpse of that, it's like there's no going back into the false world. So it can open, the doors open, doors of
Yeah.
perception open, and you see it differently.
Yeah,
From there.
it's just
Never go back.
and it's not even about the it's the feeling. It's not the
Mm.
whatever it is going on. It's that
Mm.
feeling of how it is. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, great.
Well, that's what he's talking about. It's perception is not with the body's eyes. It's a feeling. It's an awareness. So it's coming to you of something much greater. A whole oneness, and it fills you up. There's love there. You feel happy, peaceful, contented. And these words don't really do the feeling justice, but
Yeah,
we have to
wholeness. I don't know what else it is. Wholeness.
wholeness. Yeah, just feels wholesome and whole, and
Yeah.
actually everything's okay. You can't really. Challenge is to put it into words. You have an experience. How do you put it into words? And it's very difficult. And it's difficult to teach that because everyone's experience. Everyone needs to experience it for themselves. So this is just a catalyst. These processes and the mind training is a catalyst for your own experience, so that you can go there and have that experience, and then nothing I say is not what I'm saying. You have it from your own experience. That's now true knowledge. Now you really learn it. It's not just intellectual, theoretical knowledge. So that's really the point of this course, is to give you an actual experience of something different. Different self and a different reality. Okay. Anything else to share, Sue? Otherwise, we'll move on to someone else. Who else would like to share? Susie or Jackie, Elaine?
Yeah, I'll share. I've loved it. I really enjoyed it. I think the whole space that you hold, like everybody said, it's an amazing space. And you really are gifted in that way, the way you hold that space, the way you've been there for us all. And I like how, bless you, and how the lessons that you have seem to just gel with what we're going through or what we're doing. They're very, in line. And I have a piece of paper that says ego does not exist, but my belief in separation has been unreal, where I can sense the egos here constantly. I didn't realise how strong it was, and the matrix is happening to me, so excuse me. Yeah,
on cue.
Yeah. Yeah, I find it's been really strong the last few days. Still going on, and I'm aware of it, but it's amazing the truth or the beliefs that I've had about myself, because like you say, it's all a self-concept. I'm really glad you encouraged me to come on. I did feel resistance. I still feel resistance is there, but not as much. And yeah, I've seen shifts. I would like to say let shit go, but you keep telling me it's a shift, so I best stick with that one, Johnny. And yeah, and I've loved the meditations. What I've really loved out of it is you've always got something. If it's not a meditation, you can write about it. If it's not about writing, we can always speak. And the group has been really good, where you can openly share and say it as it is, because there's no other way to say it, is there? And yeah. I'm realizing that it's ongoing, although I hate this ongoing process. It's got to be done for my own benefit, because my ego is so strong. Yeah, I just couldn't. I don't think I really took on board the belief in separation as in now. I still think it's a gimmick somewhere, but it's true, because obviously you live in it. And I've written a lot of things down. I love my little book that tells me right from the beginning. I loved the little, the 9 dot thing that threw me. When you had to draw the 9 dots. and all the beliefs that were coming up about that, how I like to beat myself up. That's one thing I can take away really good is that I know even though the ego is here, because it's like I'm meditating with the ego now, it's not much fun.
Mm.
That's how it feels for me, to be honest.
Mm.
And I can say I am love and feel really good about that. So that's a real good takeaway for me, to know that I am love. And I said today, if there's only one decision I have to make, it's to believe and be in the pure awareness of perfect love. So, and that's where I want to keep moving forward. And that's about it really. But there's loads. I could write a book about it, Johnny, but I'm not going to. But it's
did it help you connect? Because you said, you were the happiness coach who lost in mojo. Has it helped you kind of rekindle that and your purpose? Did you feel more inspired about?
I feel brilliant about it, but I still think there's an ego trip there somewhere, that the ego wants that attention, not myself. Or do I just want to keep myself small? So I'm getting a bit now realizing that I'm noticing so much. It could be an ego thing, it could be, but that's what I think is the ongoing practice now, isn't it? To find that flow. I could see myself doing a lot of things. I've seen it in the past, but I didn't see it to this extent. But it's taking action in the right places to make it happen. So yeah, I do. Yeah, I do believe it's about empowering people. I do believe it's about helping others believe in themselves. I still think there's something there to work on for myself. So a few private sessions or something, or really to dig in. But it's that moment by moment process, and it's knowing that you're aware, that you're willing. And these are all great traits to have, isn't it? And it's nice to continue the process, because I don't know a lot of courses that are going to give you 6 weeks intense. And I mean intense when I'm thinking, get on the course, Susie, you'll be off in 2 hours. Fuck me, after 6 hours, I'm still here. And you're like, wow, what do you do now? You're blowing my head out, And it's what I found in the last week is my senses are on overdrive, all of them. It's like, normally you can sit and just chill and think about the breath or something, but I can smell something, or I can see something, or I want to, it's just mind blowing at the minute, but it's just a process.
One does, he says at some point, you become increasingly sensitive as you go on this, do this work, to what would previously have been considered just minor intrusions of discomfort. So something, previously or whatever, it's heightened awareness. So it's like suddenly you go, oh, that's actually quite jarring. And you experience it, and it can be quite difficult, but it is a phase. You'll get through it. Just keep working to let go. That sensitivity, will diminish in time, and you just become more established in your true self and in an unshakable peace.
And
it doesn't matter what
the
world, what your sense perceptions are telling you. You can remain in that I am love state, rooted in that, no matter what's happening on the level of form and whatever your senses are telling you. You're no longer fooled by that. You stay rooted in that deep self, and that's a lifetime's work to attain the level of a Yeshua Buddha. It's ongoing practice and mind training. So that's what we do. We carry on. We've got a whole amazing material to still work through. There's most of the Course in Miracles still to work through over the next year, and we continue to integrate and get clearer.
And it's just the realization, like you say, it's not people, it's not the situation. There's something always kicking off in your own mind, and that's something to be really mindful of, because it's just unreal. But again, it's all that suppression, that repression. I think you take us through everything, and you're really good at nitpicking everything out of your own head, and then because you're trying to straighten something out that's only in your mind, nobody else's. Looks like me and Lynn are in the Matrix now, because we keep shooting off. So, probably it's my cue that Neo's in the house. So
all right. Yeah, we might. We'll see how we go. But the plan was to maybe watch the last half an hour of Matrix. It's quite a nice conclusion to the course, actually.
But thank you so much,
Uh,
Jono, and thank you to everybody. I truly mean that through
Mm.
my heart. If it weren't for all of you to be able to share just everything that's happened in this short 6 weeks, but very intense, and for me to waffle on like I do, thank you very much.
Mm. Yeah, well, thank you for being so honest. I think we all appreciated your sharing. It's great to
You can't help but be honest, can you, Jono?
great to hear the honesty, and that's what it's all about. So yeah, thanks for your contribution, and well done. You know, well done for doing it. Took a bit of work to get you on, but you've stuck to the process, and you know, I think there's a shift. You won't go back to how you were. I think it's now onward and upward to infinity and beyond, as Buzz Lightyear would say.
But it does feel like you're going back 10 spaces, but you're not really. You're having a cha somewhere where I don't even know where.
Yeah, no, you're moving forward. It just feels like sometimes to move forward, you've got to go and clear out some of the garbage, and so that, you know, it seems like a regression, but it's actually just cleaning out some of those dark closets in your mind, which is necessary to really clean it and stay in the true self. Okay, so anything else to share? Anything else stand out for you in the course?
No, just continue. It's an ongoing process, and I'll look forward to continuing. Not for 6 hours at a time, though, but you know.
No, we'll have one session a day. So
Yeah, great.
2 to 3 hours. 2 to
It's like
3 hours
having
a
an
day.
apple a day, isn't it, Johnny? Pure bliss, having an apple a day. Great.
Yeah. Be more sustainable, and yeah. So, you know, carry on. Well, what I'd say to everyone is, if you can reach out to me and just organize a time to do half an hour one-on-one in the next few days with you. I'd like to just get your personal feedback, and also to you know, talk about the way forward, what's going to work for you. So you can do that. Just private message me. I'll reach out to all of you if you haven't done that tomorrow, and organize. But in the meantime, you know, you're all welcome to carry on tomorrow. Probably a session tomorrow afternoon at 12:30. Okay, so John's just joined. Welcome, John. Anyone else like to share? Yeah, we're just doing a little sharing, John, of your experience of the last 6 weeks. So if you'd like to share now, you're welcome to, or wait.
Yeah, I can go now. Because I'm the one who's done it before, so that's a bit different.
Yeah, how was it second time around?
Yeah. Well, the first time around, I was a bit late joining it. I was a week or two late, actually. Which I think
I remember.
Which kind of wrong-footed me a bit, actually. But I think I've always enjoyed doing the translations of the text, and what I have noticed over these last few weeks is that the vocabulary doesn't give me the same problems that it used to do. I used to kind of read sections of the text on my own and put it down, thinking, "Oh, I don't get that," you know, and I'd read it and feel a bit frustrated. But now I can read passages. I do read passages on my own, and I don't struggle to understand it in the same way at all. I kind of get the meaning of it. I think what you've taught me is how to read the text. You know, the way he speaks, creation versus extends, and recently the level 1 and the level 2. I think that all helps a lot, actually. So that's been really good. I very much.
Do you translate when you're reading it in the original form? Do you kind of mentally translate the words into alternative language?
If there's something if there's something that doesn't go in, if there's something I struggle, if there's something that doesn't immediately make sense, I do spend time on it, and I don't systematically, translate every word. No, because the original words mean a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, in your mind, you read let's say creation as a word, and then there's an understanding. Okay, creation means extension, for instance, or Holy Spirit means remembrance of love.
Yeah, that's the helpful bit. And then there's new bits keep coming up. Like the other day was the unhealed mind may heal the unhealed, but doesn't raise the dead, and that kind of, I got stuck on that until we did the session, and that clarified that one. Yeah,
well, I think the sessions are, if you're studying a text and you've got a live session, you've got any questions, well, you can come and resolve it there. That's the point.
Yeah.
And get very clear on what he means and really do it thoroughly. So that session is like each lesson, each session becomes another lesson. It's like a transformational workshop almost, just on that particular section.
And I do remember that, I mean, we at one stage we were doing groups at our house, Course in Miracles, and there was maybe 5, 6 of us, and we'd read a passage. I can't remember if we read the text or the lessons, actually, probably both, bits of both. And none of us really knew how to translate it. And in fact, didn't really, it was something we just weren't aware of. And so we just be kind of stabbing in the dark, really. It was nice to struggle together with it, but we didn't get to the bottom of it.
I think that's the case with a lot of groups. I ran groups, and generally I was like, it's a start, but I didn't feel like it was anywhere near enough to really crack the profundity of what the course is teaching. Meeting once every week or 2 weeks for a couple of hours. It's nice. I mean, I'm not denying that people should do that, but this is about taking it to another level, saying, okay, let's do it as a daily practice. Why do it only once a week or once every 2 weeks? Do it as a daily practice and really, immerse yourself in that text, which is what we're going to do this year. That's why the focus is going to be on the text. The workbook, do on your own, and there'll be plenty of support and resources like past recordings and stuff. But if we really crack the text, I think it'll give everyone a real depth and profundity of understanding the deep meaning, the metaphysics of this, which then ripples into the text. If you understand the deep metaphysics, then the lesson's simple. It's like, well, I get it. The lessons just are the practical application of it. And I think I mean, what's excited me this last 6 weeks is it kind of developed, because I've always felt like we've done the text, but just something was missing. Couldn't quite get it, as I wanted. I think we've kind of got a formula to really help people to understand it on a deeper level. And then the meditations, you can actually meditate on it in a personalized way. I think that's gonna really help people to internalize. Because it's about internalizing. You can read it, and we all know you can read a section of the text and just you've read 8, 9, 10 paragraphs, and it just kind of, okay, what did I actually read? Did it actually?
Well, which is my case, but I've always had the niggly feeling that I would like to understand it. Sue doesn't have that. Sue doesn't find much interest in the text at this time, but she's very happy with the daily practice, and I think there's a lot of people like that. They like the course, they like the workbook, but they don't want to get into the metaphysics of it.
Well, I mean, as Ken Wapnick said, he said if you're going to do the course properly, you have to do the text and the workbook because they, you know, they work hand in glove. Yeshua didn't spend, I mean, 670 pages. That's a lot of work and effort. It's the half of the course. Didn't do that for no reason. It's like you need to understand the metaphysics to really understand the course. And there's things in the text that don't enter the workbook. There's a whole stuff, special relationships, the theory of guilt, you know, that whole descent into hell diagram we've had, that's really comes out of the text, not the workbook. I mean, the workbook supports it, but the you know, it's a theory, and to understand the metaphysics means, if you really get it deeply, that, you know, the workbook's a piece of cake. It's just like confirming. It's just a practice of what you really know. If you don't understand the text, the workbook, I'm not saying don't do it, but I think the depth of the understanding will be lacking, and it'll be more difficult to apply the lessons, because it's all based on the metaphysics that, yeah, nothing that you perceive here is real. It's all unreal. But it's to go, you know, to really the text, for me, the text is it's really taking your mind through this whole journey of going through the intellect to break the intellect. He takes you through this whole process of, you go and we all start, and, you know, we think we're quite intellectual and smart, and then he works on you with this text, which is you know, so profound, and the language, double negatives, and it's like this journey through your mind, and in the end, it kind of, you just have to go, I actually know nothing. What he's got me to realize is that my understanding was not understanding. I was confused, and there's a letting go of that intellectual mind.
And
so
I
you
think
break through the intellect.
I think it's particularly a male thing.
Yeah.
I don't think women. I think women are definitely different. They don't quite have the same mental rigidity, I think.
Yeah, I think it's because men tend to be more in their mind. I mean, obviously, it's a huge generalization, but there's more mind, intellect, you know. So the text, you know, it has that kind of, does have quite a male energy, because what he's trying to do is point you beyond the mind, but through the mind. He's saying, okay, so let's meet you where you are. You know, if you've got a high intellect, let's meet you where you are, and let's systematically work through that using your intellect. So that, you know, you'll engage your intellect, and you think you're very smart, and then at the point you go, whoa, you know, what is this? It's actually just breaking that all down and telling me, you know, in the end he says, you know, forget this course, forget this course, forget this world, and come with holy empty hands unto your God, to take you into the mystic experience of oneness. Beyond the intellect, but very cleverly through the intellect, because we've started, that's where he's meeting us, saying, okay, well, you've got these intellects and you think you're very clever. Now we've got to work with that to undo it. And it's a brilliant process to do that. From experience, you know, because I started, I was very smart and I'm reading this, and at a point you go, whoa, I'm really starting to understand what he's saying, and it's incredibly challenging for my intellectual mind and the ego associated with it, because there has to be a letting go of that. But I've had to go through this process to get there. So it's genius in a way, because it's through the intellect you let go of the intellect, and that's why I like working with the course, working with the particularly the text. It does that. It does that because you have to go through that, through all the mind training to read it and understand it. It inevitably does that. So I'm looking forward to what will happen if we do the text on a deep level this year. We get that all recorded and written out. I think it will take a lot of people's understanding in the course, and then we do it in subsequent years to another level, and really help them to understand this course much more deeply. So,
for example, I remember that evening a year ago, or whatever it was, when I was struggling with the tiny mad idea, and you know, well, where did the tiny mad idea come from? Yeah, and if we hadn't spent that half hour or 2 hours going through that,
I think it was more like an hour and a half. Yeah. More like 2 hours. Yeah. But it's all good. Yeah.
if we hadn't spent that time doing that, I wouldn't have got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I
Well, it's
did get-
working through, it's working through the difficulty, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
like, okay, so there's a block there and you work at it and then it's like something transfers, something transmits that's deeper. And, that's the value of spending the time on it.
Mm.
Otherwise, you don't get it.
Yeah.
So, well done for persevering. And, it's nice to have you back because you went to, I remember you said, I'm saturated with the text, and then we didn't see you. It was like, okay. It was just,
Yeah.
but hopefully, the way we're doing it now, I think with personalized meditations and stuff, I think even if you don't sit in the whole live session, there's something that you can, like that takeaway. If you can take that half an hour and just meditate on it, I think there might be a lot of benefit in that for people.
Yeah.
And then just how did you find, because you did the exercise, the naming your game and the flipping your flop again, how did you find that second time?
Well, I actually got a lot more out of it this time. I think there were a couple of things that the first time we did, I didn't get that we just had to open up to spirit and allow the negatives to come through. That was one thing. And I know when we flipped it, it was much more meaningful.
Hmm.
Yeah, it kind of went deeper. Can't quite think. I like, in particular, taking the positive adjectives that described our positive sides. I found that, those seven, 10, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they were not
your blueprint for your values blueprint.
Yeah, they were not what I'd written.
Hmm.
And actually, when I compared them, the ones that I was given were much better.
Right. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
It just shows you the power of like other people's perceiving you. They actually see more truly than you do. It's interesting.
Yeah.
In both the negative and the positive sense.
Yeah.
And then that's the value of group work. We help each other because without the group, you don't get that feedback, which is really valuable.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, yeah. Thanks for participating, and look forward to the ongoing journey.
Yeah. I'll be
Anything
there.
else you want to share?
No, I'm good actually. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So let's ask Jackie or Elaine.
Yeah, well, very much like everybody else. Yeah, just quite amazing, isn't it? Really, I started off all in drama and all sorts going on. Husband, see next door. So I have to be careful what I'm
Yeah.
Then
you had termites and
then ringworm, and then cockroaches, and yeah, there's all sorts. And now, starting the course, I was physically unwell. So it was quite interesting, so on the external side, it was a lot of drama going on. But now that it's, 40 days later, yeah, there's no doubt, it's quite amazing, really, isn't it? Yeah. But there's still the vacillating, I have to admit. Obviously I can appreciate some of them like Sue, that's wonderful. So that gives me a goal to say, yes, I can be there. And I can be there when I'm sort of, where there's no external and it's quiet, but then that's the perfect, I've got to try and be like that when it's all that's going on.
All kicking off, yeah.
That's the bit because that's the one where the challenge is. So I'm still work in progress, but yeah, I've got all of you to thank being so authentic and honest. I mean, it's just been amazing. So yeah, no, I'm happy to continue And you never know. There's all sorts. I've got a friend who I haven't seen for about 8 years, who studied the Course in Miracles, and now she's not just practicing it, she's living it. So it'd be nice for her to come on and have a chat with everyone, because she is literally
invite her to join us.
Yeah, she
Invite her
is.
to join us.
Yeah, and I mean, she has lots of difficulties, no money. As I mentioned, obviously, some real tragedies in her life, you know, her son being murdered and then a second one. And, you know, so she's quite amazing. So, well, she was the one who brought me to the course. But I looked at the book and thought, no, not me at all. It looks like a Bible. So, yeah.
Have you found it helpful to have it unpacked in this way, to do it in the live sessions and the translations and the discussions and the meditations and all of that?
Yeah, the meditation is very, very helpful. I tend to find the mornings I'm more focused, so I still need to work on later in the day, so that, you know, this is why I want to continue with the journey. But, you know, I just want to thank everybody and yourself for being so supportive. So thank you. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, well, thank you for joining and you know, contributing, and thank you for the those images. You know, so those extra images that comes from Elaine. Yeah, I think they really add to the lessons, don't they?
Yeah, because I am a bit of a visual person, and images are more me, so that works as well for me too. Yeah.
Has everyone, just a bit of feedback from everyone, has everyone found that helpful? Those extra slides that I've put into the Telegram and email messages. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Thank you very much. They're really good.
Oh no, you're welcome. It works for me anyway. So yeah.
And then, like, I've just tried to integrate it into the actual lesson. So, like, at a point in the lesson, then the slide comes in, and then I stick it in there and go, okay, so now, you know, so it's, I think the visual element is important. You know, this is an audio visual course actually, because it's reading, it's text, it's audio, and it's visual. I think all of that combines to a better learning experience, so you can internalize the meaning more and really get it. So, you know, thank you. And that, I think that's the power of community. You know, I didn't know those existed. You've just, you know, brought them in. I'm hoping no one worries about copyright, because they course students. They course people.
Oh no, it's no problem. It's a chap called Pat who does them. Yeah, no, he's not a problem.
You know, if it's benefiting people, then that's the whole point.
Absolutely.
To get it out there. So so that's the power of community. And I think there's lots of you know, potential for synergy between people going forward. Like, so we're looking at maybe doing a retreat in Tenerife, Elaine, because there's a retreat center opening up. You know, Aurelie wants to run retreats as well, and Yad's got tech skills, so, you know, we're gonna put together a portal, and, you know, really this is a community, and, you know, we all grow it to spread this life-changing message. That's the point. You know, no one owns it. I'm a facilitator and of it, and everyone's contributing to it, which is how it should be. So thank you, Elaine, for your contribution, and I look forward to seeing you in Tenerife soon.
Yes, definitely. All welcome.
So anything else? Anything else you want to share?
No, that's it really. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the resources were helpful. The manual I've got here, I have to say, I haven't really had a chance to go and have a look in depth, so I'm going to have a little bit more chance to really have a read of that. It has been quite an intensive course when you've still got work going and such. So so that's the only thing.
I'll encourage everyone to do that. If you haven't finished the exercises, you know, finish the exercises. It's 12 powerful exercises. Finish exercise. I'm going to do 10 today in the session. 11 and 12. Those will help you to just clarify some kind of routine for yourself. And, you know, ongoing every day, I give you an ideal schedule. So if you carry on in the program, as you've already signed up for that. every day there's, you know, the same kind of format. There's for, you know, the ideal schedule, and then you pick and choose. You say, okay, well, I can do that. I'll do a live call and I'll do a meditation now. So that's really the approach. You know, the ideal is, you know, absolutely ideal, but I don't think anyone does that. It's you customize it to your own requirements, and make it, you know, just use it to make this practice an integral part of your life, so that you can actually, you know, practice on a level that's sustainable for you. That's the idea. So you do what you can. And if you're doing a couple of hours a day, that's a lot more than you would have done otherwise. So it's all good. Okay, so thanks for that share, and thank you for joining the course and for your
Oh, no, thank you. everybody.
contribution. That
Yeah,
yeah,
thank you, everybody.
the slides have been amazing. So who hasn't shared? Jackie and Kim and Christine, I think. So any of you like to share?
As everyone said, it's been fantastic. Johnny, you've done a phenomenal job. It seems to be that no matter what time of the night I'm awake, you're sending stuff through. So I think you must have worked 24 hours a day. I don't know how you've done it, but so it's been brilliant, and it's helped everybody so much. I also have a real sense of it having been guided by spirit. I feel like I've been on the calls when I've meant to be on the calls, and I'm sure others perhaps feel the same. There've been things I've missed that perhaps I was meant to miss. I mean, there was a interesting thing going on Friday where you were talking about the physics, which I would have liked to have been involved in, because I've got, you know, as I mentioned, a strong connection to that through my children, but I wasn't meant to be there. I could not get on that call. It kept dropping. I couldn't get my phone to connect. I kept hearing the bits that triggered me, which I had to then go clear on. And then when I listened to the whole call later as a recording, it all made sense to me. But it was so much better that I wasn't on that call, and I felt like spirit was there going, no.
No, yeah.
I went away and I went to sleep
to
for
do
an
it
hour
this
and a
way.
half.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty strong example of, you know, how it's felt guided. But there've been other times as well where, for example, you know, it's just been me and one other person doing the translations, where I felt like that was exactly how it was meant to be, and I read the bits that I was exactly meant to read. And I have had some resistance to some of it, you know, I admit, but it's always worked out well in the timing in the end. So it's been good. And I do like the idea of doing it next year on retreat in Tenerife. I'd be there to help organise. I think that's a really great idea. So
yeah, well, that's sort of the idea. From sort of we'll be starting February through to mid-March time. Go to Tenerife and do it there, and just go. Okay,
fantastic.
Come camp out, and
I've
we'll do it online. You can't make it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
For
No,
those who
Christine,
can.
I thought I want to spend the winters away from England, so perfect timing.
Yeah, February is a very good time.
Fantastic time to
That's
be
why.
away.
Yeah, that's why we're all here as Brits. We like that. So.
Yeah. Look at that. I mean, I've known
Wow.
Elaine for quite a while now, and you know,
Yes.
same Monday group, and the times I've looked at her in t-shirts in the middle of winter, though, I'd love to be there.
Well, you're more than welcome, Jackie. You're more than welcome.
Yeah,
And,
we'll see, you know, how this unfolds. Maybe we'll do a 5-day to start with in maybe November. Just test it out before, and then next year,
that's a good
those
idea.
who want to come, you know, it's like we organize a well, you can we'll work it out. Accommodation, you know, we can organize, and so it becomes there's actually a group and a community, and we can run this over the 6 weeks, and then people who can't make it can join online. I think that's the way this is moving into, you know, more kind of community, and so we'll just see. I have family as well, but just trusting the Holy Spirit to, if it's meant to be, then it will be. That's how these things work. And I think your point about the Holy Spirit guiding it is spot on. It seemed like everyone's had the experience they meant to have in the course. They've joined the sessions they meant to join. They weren't meant to join a session, they weren't there. Sometimes they end up with 1 or 2 people, and it's just, it's perfect. I mean, that session I had with Lynn, it was just us for whatever reason. Everyone else had dropped off, so it was exactly perfect for her, the perfect text to read, to just give her exactly what she needed to get the shift, and that's miraculous. That's the Spirit guiding it. We're not really in charge. We just kind of go with the flow, and it all seems to work out. So, provided there's willingness, you're willing, then that happens. So yeah, so well done for carrying on and getting through the resistance. That applies to everyone, because of course there's resistance. Otherwise you would already be there. You wouldn't need a course if there were no resistance. That's the whole point. So it's ongoing. I know you signed up for the year, so I'm looking forward to the rest of the year, carrying on this journey and integrating it and sharing insights. And it's just nice to hang out with people and go, okay, nice to see you again, and we're all on the same path. So very, very comforting.
Absolutely.
Anything else? Yeah, anything else you want to share?
Well, I was going to say, I love that you have those breath breaks on a sort of continuous loop, because I haven't been using them in the traditional sense that I put them on, because they're very, very consistent. You can do them in a very consistent voice, and they're the course lessons. Put them on at night if I'm awake, and then I just let them play on. So often I'm sleeping, but it's clearly going in.
Okay.
But last night I put it on before I went to sleep and had it on all night. Honestly, I woke up after about, 10 hours, thinking I'd taken the strongest sleeping pill. It really worked. But hopefully it's all been integrated, and all those courses, each one after the other, has gone in. So it's been really good. The sorry to have slept for it, but I think it's worked really well.
Well, it's. I mean, they say the subconscious records everything, so it's going in on some level. So you're in sleep, you're in alpha or theta state or delta, and it's going in. You program it on some level. It's going in, and then you wake up and it's like, wow, I just feel like energized and amazing. Well, that's what the truth does. So the resources are there to use as you want. That's I think the key takeaway for everyone. The stuff's there. There's a lot of content. I mean, some have said it's overkill, but it's you don't have to do it all. It's there for you to use as you want to. So if you like the breath breaks, listen to that. If you like the YouTube videos, listen to those. There's past recorded sessions. It's available, and in years to come, because there's the depth of content, you can come to something and say, oh well, I didn't get that last year. I missed that because only got 20% of it. So then there's more. And as we develop a repository in the portal, like every live session will be available. As you keep building, I mean, ultimately in 10 years, you imagine just have like there'll be so much. So you can just dip in at any point into the daily lesson into that day and go, okay, well, what's there? Oh, well, there's a whole load of resources and 10 different takes on this particular lesson I can dive into and get access to. So ultimately, the goal is
one of my comments would have been to label more precisely what's in each of those. So, for example, the quantum physics discussion, rather than it saying discussion of the quote for the day, put on quantum physics discussion and whatever else, so that it's easier to find stuff.
Yeah, no, fair point. I'll in 10 years to come, I'll do that, and that content can all be put into a portal, and then it could be like, okay, listen to it. This one is on this, and then searchable, and all that stuff. So that's the beauty of information technology. It's the stuff's now it's there permanently. It doesn't go away. It's accessible by everyone who's part of this. So thank you for being part of it. And we all contributed to it. What I love, actually, those meditations on the text with everyone's voices. I thought that was a great little thing that the Spirit directed
Mhm.
to get, because I was getting so tired I couldn't actually keep my eyes open doing. I was like, okay, this is a much better idea. Just get everyone to do it in the thing and then record it and put it on there. So I think we'll keep that up. And then at the end of the year, there's going to be the whole text with meditations by different people and different voices. So like the one voice of truth, male, female, different accents, doesn't matter. I think that's going to be amazing.
Sally and I were talking. We thought it seemed like what's the Live Aid song, "Feed the World." We got all the different voices coming in.
Yeah.
It's like feeding the world spiritually with all the different voices.
Yeah. And as the community grows, it could be even more. So that's been a nice inspiration or innovation by the Spirit. These things just happen. I mean, you don't it just kind of unfolds, doesn't it? As you do the work, it's like, okay, now this is the next evolution of it, which is interesting to see how it's unfolded over 5 years. I've been busy with this for almost 5 years. And I feel like now it's at a point where it's a community and, the foundation is there and it's ready to grow and potentially help many, many, many more people. So I look forward to the journey. And I hope you'll all carry on in that, because it's what it's all about, community and from the core, from that base, growing it. So, I appreciate actually over the last few days, been about 6 different people sign up to the next masterclass, obviously as a result of referrals. And that's the way this is going to grow. So I appreciate that. Anyone who's doing that work, putting it out there to spread the word, it's highly appreciated. And let's grow this. There's no reason why we couldn't have, it's nice to have 10 people on a call, but there's no reason why there couldn't be 50 or 100 benefiting. And then you do the sharing, but everyone has a turn. You share today, and then other times you just listen in. So we'll see where it goes. Yeah. Anything else to share, Jackie?
No,
anything
just
else stand out for you in the course?
Well, I feel calmer as a result, and I feel like things are starting to move forward after many challenging years. Things are starting to slot into place now, and it's good.
And your higher purpose, and then we did some work with it. Do you feel like that's helped clarify that?
Yeah, I think that might be a little while. I don't know. I've got a few other things I need to do first. So on Friday, I had an offer accepted on a house. So I need to, that's my priority now, to sort that out. And that's been interesting timing, because I've put off so many houses and they haven't come through. All sorts of strange stuff happened and didn't work out. Obviously weren't meant to be. And then this one was meant to be on Friday, and it came through quite unusual circumstances, really. It required a friend to call me, go and look at something else, and for me to be there just on the day that the woman who owned it was at home with a broken foot, so I was able to negotiate with her directly rather than having to go through the estate agents. All this stuff. And we had so many parallels. She's moving, well, she moved there after a divorce, and it's been her sort of turnaround house, and she's been there 20 years. She's now moving to Somerset. She's there where my family are, and it just we seem to have a lot in common. It just felt absolutely right, and it's that's
guided.
Yeah, it feels guided, and it's also, but I won't live there full time. My plan is to, it's in southwest London, I plan to dip in and out, and but stay living here because it's I'm meant to be. And
so that's all being directed for you, isn't it? It's great.
It feels very right. Yeah.
as the course says, don't make plans. It'll all be done for you.
Yes, yeah,
Even things like house sales and where you're going to live and those
yeah,
kinds of logistics. Just somehow it all seems to when you get into flow, when you find your higher yourself, the true self, and your higher purpose, then it starts happening for you. In these
It
kind
was
of
funny because I think, was it week before, I'd put an asking price offer on on a house around here, thinking, well, I'll get some temporary here. And even at, asking price, it still didn't get accepted. So
Yeah.
it clearly wasn't meant to be. There were so many
Yeah. Mm.
signs pointing me to do something different. And then it's a two phone calls from friends giving me messages really that changed my thinking. So amazing.
Yeah. So that's how it. That's how the spirit works. So people say, "Oh, well, you need the ego to do practical stuff in this world." It's just not true. You can do it all through the spirit.
Yeah.
If you will trust. You've got to trust the guidance that it can help you with specific issues like house sales and where you're going to live and what you're going to do with your time and who you're going to live with and special relationships and everything. There's no area that it can't help you with if you're willing to let it go and say, okay, I'm willing to give it all over.
Yeah.
To the
Well, the funny
spirit and
thing is,
trust.
the house is 3 roads away from the lady who taught me to pendulum dowse, and she said years ago,
Okay.
6 years ago, that would be a good, where she lives, and that area would be a good place for me to live. And my ego said, no, between there, I want to be in Wimbledon. Found the ideal house.
And there you go. Yeah, there you are.
Yeah.
So yeah, and maybe it's a space other people can come into and do some healing and
Yeah, almost certainly.
Look forward to seeing that
Like words,
journey
I tell you.
unfold for you.
But no, I went to stop it. But see you another time.
Okay. So yeah, anything else to share, or is that
Thank you very much.
okay? So who hasn't shared? Yeah, it's a pleasure. Thanks for joining and your contribution, and some of the insight, and you always come up with helpful suggestions as to to how you think things could be improved. So I do welcome that. Constructive criticism is very welcome. So anyway, I've improved it over 5 years. I've always gone, okay, so afterwards, what could have been done better, and then I try and incorporate that into the next iteration. So I'd definitely like to do a one-on-one with you, Jackie. So like, okay, so what do you think? And let's get into some of the nitty-gritty, which maybe is not appropriate now. It's like, what could be improved, like that, that point on better labeling. Like, okay, yeah, I get it. So that's that's then just takes it to another level for the next version, and obviously ongoing, because the format will continue. These things will carry on being on the Telegram group. So I just need to label it better. Okay, so who else? Kim. I don't think Kim shared. Kim, would you like to do a little share?
Yeah, I think out of everyone here, I probably attended the least live sessions. But I think that was, more or less to be, it was one of those things. But I'm very grateful to have attended what I could, but also listen to some of the recordings where I could. And I really felt like more connected as well to everyone and their sharings, and also the transformation. It's been really amazing and inspirational. So really, really grateful to have been part of this journey and to continue on the journey with you all. It's just, I just feel this is an amazing group of human beings. So all the way along, and even before the courses started, because some of you have already, everyone here has been on, some of you have been on the kind of ongoing program before that, and it's just, I just love being part of this, and it's just great. I've participated more than I've been able to in the last few months at least. And yeah, there's always something to learn. Sometimes for me, listening to the text is a bit of a struggle. I'm glad to hear that it goes in while we're asleep, because I also play my phone late at night. John, at least I'm not falling asleep during the session. And that I heard some of this. I think there was a couple of people who were sharing and they felt that they were falling asleep. I'm like, oh wow, I've done that a few times.
It has been known, yeah. Sometimes I'm falling asleep. I'm still speaking. It's
yeah.
it just comes through. So,
but maybe through things that are happening in life, it has been flowing a little bit more, or I've been relaxed a bit more. And I think I've shared with Jono as well from the previous course when we did the Name My Game, the kind of the how should I sort of the opportunity to the flipped feedback. No, the flop. What is it? The flop. Flip your flop.
Flip your flop. Yeah, you flip your flop.
Feedback was a little bit different this time, and maybe there's some things that have appeared that helped me to sort of process. But yeah, it's it's just always good to share with everyone that on an ongoing basis, even if you just do one little piece, one little bit a day, it really helps. It's helped me. I mean, when I started the course a year and a half ago, I was new to the course, not new to knowing about the course, but new to doing anything on the course in terms of lessons, text. So yeah, I think from the previous time doing the first course, I mean, that was all new to me, Jono. I got to, I think it was a time of a heavy lockdown in South Africa, plus it was winter, and it meant I had more time to spend, maybe not during the day because I was working. But yeah, it's been a great experience to be part of this again and to be part of the ongoing program going forward. In terms of learnings, I think it's just a continuous process. And then I find, I mean, now this the third time repeating, going back to the beginning of the lessons, and it still sometimes feels quite new. So
it has that sort of effect.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a timeless philosophy. So it's actually called the perennial philosophy. This kind of teaching, and perennial means evergreen. It never gets tired or stale. And that is one of the characteristics of this course, because you're going deep into your own mind and finding the truth, which is fresh always. You can read the lessons over and over and the text and get something out of it, because it's helping you to access your spirit, which is eternal. It's always there. So it's not the kind of book you say, okay, well, that's it. I read it once and I'm done. It's more like, okay, I can practice with this. I can get something from this on an ongoing basis, and I incorporate it into my life as my ongoing spiritual practice. That's what it's really. I think it's what it's designed to do, and so the program just supports that. Okay, we'll carry on. This becomes a way of life. Ongoing spiritual practice to stay in tune with the spirit. And I think although I know you're busy because you have a full-time job, so you can't necessarily join the day. I think I like your feedback on it, but connecting in as you can, dropping into the odd live session and then listening to the recordings is still pretty game-changing, isn't it? It's still quite life-changing.
That's definitely helpful, and it's also, I mean, just to be connected to this kind of loving, positive stream with a lot of negativity out there. I think it just helps being in the world.
Mm.
So,
Mm.
mm,
Well, it's to dip in, if you can dip into space of truth and immerse yourself in that for however long it is, whether it's a live session or recording, it just helps
Yeah.
to counteract all that negativity, because the
Yeah.
world is the ego's world. The external world is the ego's world. Yeshua's telling us very clearly. So if you can go into a space and a community where you're getting the opposite, the spirit that's the antidote, then that's going to fortify you. That's going to help you, face the inevitable challenges that ego brings, and that's the value of a community. In the Buddhist teaching, they have the three elements. There's Dhamma, which is the truth, ultimate truth, and there's the Buddha, who's the awakening to the truth. So that's your personal hero's journey. And then there's the Sangha, the community that's supporting you in that journey. And those are all part of the transformation, and it's necessary and very helpful. So,
yeah.
it's great to have you as part of it.
Thank you.
And ongoing, carry on, as you can. I think that it's the key for everyone. Do it to whatever level you can. There's still benefit. Even if you're working full time, you can't join the live calls. Join when you can and get the recordings.
Yeah, and then you have to be very discerning around what recordings I pick. But sure, I guess maybe I was guided to pick a lot of the expression sessions as well, because it's just been amazing to hear about so much shifting happening, for everyone, and the challenge people faced, and having, like this persisting, and it's just been very inspirational, because it just shows that we going on the I don't want to say good and bad and sound dualistic, but it's like the path of love and light, maybe, is the better way of putting it. And I love the illustrations as well, because it's the light. I think further into the course, when we start going into more that really talks about the lessons in the light, and that was really how I could go a bit deeper. And then I see it, from the beginning of the lessons as well, in the illustrations. It's just, it just feels like pulls you in again on that deeper level of that truth.
Great, thank you. Anything else to share? I mean, second time around, you're a graduate of the first time. So any different, anything that you felt this time was different, better?
Yeah, I think. I think I can see even more. Those recordings are definitely longer, John, because of around the text. That's not a bad. I'm saying that it's not a bad thing. You can just see it's even going deeper, because I think when we did it, we didn't do the translations yet. I think you started the translations at some point in the last year's course, and then so we spent probably the time, just understanding the text. We didn't do that meditation at the end, but I think like if maybe, I thought maybe I can, and I thought, okay, well, at least if I don't get to listen to the recording of like 4 or 5 hours, the text, and I start seeing, oh, look, it's coming through at 10 to 1 in the morning. Oh, there's another one that's coming through at like, 1:30 in the morning. And then there's another meditation. So maybe I could do meditation. It's like, no, but then there's a whole lot of recordings coming through the next day. Like, what do I get to listen to? But I thought, well, maybe I just, then I maybe listen to David read the text and then you do the meditation of the text. I'm just thinking how to condense
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, well, exactly. You know, the reason it's in bite-sized pieces is so you can do that. You know, there's a whole 4-hour discussion on it if you really want to go into it, or just okay, do the half an hour meditation, because that's almost the succinct summary. It's like, okay, all of what we've done over that 4 hours has been put into that half an hour, and then you know, guided through it, and hopefully you can really get the essence of what it is. And in years to come, it won't be as long because we'll have done the work. So it's like, okay, you've got the tech, you know, you've got the document, you've got the meditation. It's like all the translations are done. It will be quicker because, you know, we're not typing and writing. It's just using the material to understand it more deeply. So you know, we're laying a foundation for future years, and hopefully for many more people, because I think there's a huge need around the world for people to understand this on a deeper level. I don't think many people get it on a deep level, even if they've been studying it for years. To penetrate to the essence of what's being said is quite challenging. So it's to create a system that, you know, if anyone wants to do that, they can tap into this, and they can.
Yeah, I think that meditation would be helpful. As in,
well, I'm going to record. I'm going to record it every day. We're going to do the text, and then you'll get the document with the translation, and then you'll get the meditation on it, which is nicely cleaned up, and some music and backing tracks, which you can then listen to. So and there'll be one live session rather than two, so it's less content. You know, you'll have maybe 4 hours to listen to, rather than 6 or 7 every day, which is maybe a bit more manageable.
But I mean, that's good, and it's like great to just be able to, you know, if you have the opportunity to just immerse yourself in that. I mean, like, just to compare the two, like, because the first one, okay, some of the processes hadn't been new to. I had done an eco-naming game with you before that course, but yeah, it was, I think the first time was more like, okay, this is just getting into what the course is about. Now I've been doing it for a year and a half, I guess. I mean, I think more how you've done it with the text in terms of those meditations is really helpful. And yeah, I think there's just been a lot of transformation, and it's just been great to hear. I think there was some last year as well. I think I picked up more this time around, and it just always helps to inspire and keep one on the wagon, the journey. Even though sometimes it feels like it's going at a, you know, you're treading water. Well, it feels like that, but maybe it's not. That's just the perception. I hope it is that, because I think maybe there's things that have been going on in my life that maybe it's going smoother than I thought it would. Maybe if I wasn't doing this course at all, and I wouldn't feel as aware, maybe it would have gone a bit differently. So I
think you don't know. You don't know. You've changed, and it's kind of in there, and so you're perceiving the world differently, but you don't know. You know what the difference is.
Bit,
like in an alternate reality.
For sure, there's like a lot of work to do. But
yeah, I mean, that's welcome to the life. You know, that's life. The rest of your life, if you're on this path, that's why it's called a path. It's a spiritual path, and you carry on practicing. And you know, it's necessary to be vigilant. You're in the ego's domain. You're in the corporate world. You know, it's like challenges are going to come, but the practice helps you to deal with them much more functionally and better than you would have otherwise been able to. So all good. Yeah, carry on. You know, look forward to the journey with you, and we'll carry on. Are we doing a one-on-one tomorrow? Is that right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll talk about that later. We arranged the time. I think we did, didn't we? Let's just confirm it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah, let's just confirm. And I'll just say to anyone, if ever you need like a personal session, just reach out to me and we can arrange that. I have a bit more time now because we're doing one live session a day, so I'm available to do one-on-ones. Like if you need help on your higher purpose or something, I know Kim, you want to work on that. Work on any aspects that are outstanding from the course. Then just book a one-on-one with me. We'll go through it. And that'll maybe just help you to clarify some elements. I'd take definitely the next few days just to integrate, process, go through, make sure you've completed the 12 exercises. If there's anything outstanding that you're finding is tricky, then join a live call, ask a question there, or you can book a one-on-one with me. And I'd like to chat to you, all of you anyway, individually in the next few days. So just reach out to me and book a one-on-one sometime. Generally morning before the session. We're going to do them at from 12:30. Morning before the sessions would be good. I'll communicate with all of you one-on-one about that. Okay, so where are we at? Let's see has everyone done a sharing? I think so. Anyone hasn't shared? No, everyone's shared. So thanks everyone for that. I think that's going to be really helpful going forward. Anyone who wants to know about this course, I'm going to give them this recording and say, go listen. There's nearly 2 hours of sharing by people who've just been through it, and some really phenomenal testimonials. And with everyone's permission, like some of the comments on the group that you've made, those are fantastic testimonials. So if you have any issue, let me know. Otherwise, it's great to be able to share that kind of stuff to spread the word.
Jono, sorry, this is important and I forgot to share it. Thank you for sharing, like holding the space for us and the energy and the empathy, the sensitivity that you bring. And I've been working with you on this for a long time, and you really bring everything and above or within. I know you say channel the spirit, but it's just it's like you never, it never stops.
The Duracell bunny.
It's a source. The source kind of just it's like on. So thank you.
Oh, it is my pleasure. I love
You're
doing
a copper top, Johnny.
A copper top. No, exactly. The Energizer bunny just keeps going. Well, it's a spirit. It's just, I don't know. What can you say? It's just it is continuous. It just carries on and carries on. And it's when it's got you, it's using you. Then what can you do? You just got to carry on. Surrender. Keep going. It's not really me doing it. You realize I'm not really. It's not really me doing it. So it's just coming through. So just the whole point. So thank you for that.
Thanks.
Feedback. Namaste.
Namaste.
And that applies to everyone. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciative. It's my own journey as well. I teach what I need to learn. So this course has been helpful for me as well to resolve some things going on in my life. So teach what you need to learn. Okay, so I think that's the sharing done. Thank you, everyone, for that. So shall we dive into some, share my screen. There's some teaching I want to go through today, just have a look at the quote. It's yesterday's, was it? So
I don't know what the plan is for today, but I need to go at 4. Is that okay?
yeah, yeah, that's okay. We're going to do I'll just give everyone a sort of brief overview. We're going to just do have a look at the quote and a bit of teaching around that. I want to go through three levels of forgiveness. That's quite a key teaching. So we'll do that. Now we'll do the lesson for today, and meditation on that, and then we're going to go into.
Don't know. Does it have
yeah.
to be in that order, or is it possible to do the exercise first before Sue has to leave?
Yeah, we could do
exercise 10.
exercise. We could do exercise 10 now, I guess. If you'd like to get that, because that's so it's a group exercise. You're going to buddy up with people and with someone in ideally your buddy, or if your buddy's not available, someone else, and I'll split you into breakout rooms, and you're going to do exercise 10, which is quite a powerful exercise to help you to really get clarity on any issue that is troubling you. So things like your purpose, that's an obvious one. Relationships are also a good one to use. Any decision that you have to make in your life is a good focus point for the exercise. Takes about an hour. Everyone has a chance. So you switch it. Your buddy has a chance to question you, and then you question your buddy. Typically half an hour at a time. So we can do that now. If everyone's open to that.
Okay.
Dive into exercise 10.
Yeah, I just need a nature break quick.
Yeah. Okay. So let's take a 2-minute break.
Okay.
Maybe 5 minutes, because 2 minutes is never enough, is it? 5-minute break, everyone. I'll pause the recording. I probably need one too, and then we'll come back and do exercise 10. How does that sound?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. See everyone now. Just pause. All right, everyone back?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's have a look-see at today's exercise. So this is exercise 10, which is on page 58, I believe, of your course manual. So I'll just give you a little 5-10 minute overview of it and how you can do it. So it's an exercise designed to help you make any kind of decision that's difficult for you. Designed to give you the Holy Spirit's perspective on an important decision currently facing you in your life, and through this to learn the art of listening to the Holy Spirit, which remember is just the remembrance of love, and allowing it to guide you in making all the important decisions in your life. So you want to choose an important decision that's currently facing you in your life for this exercise. That could be a decision about career, it could be a decision about relationships. Those are, often the key areas, but anything that's really it's a decision, and maybe you want clarity on it. You're not sure. Your mind is a bit split, but you feel conflicted. That's a great opportunity to use this exercise to get clarity. So it's going to help you see the decision from 3 different perspectives, and then choose the perspective that is the highest. So start the process. If you're going to do it with someone in your physical area, I think that might apply to Jackie and Sally. If you're going to buddy up, then you just sit with 3 chairs if you can get them. 2 is okay. Idea of the 3 chairs is just to swap chairs to change your state. So if you're obviously doing the process online, that's not relevant. And then one person's going to be the decision maker, and the other person is going to be the questioner. And then in between the positions, you want to break the state by just discussing an unrelated topic for a minute or so to just shake it out. So you could talk about the weather or sport, or something really that's trivial, but that just kind of clears the state, and then you can resume in a clearer state. That's the idea. So position 1 is your ego's position. So this is the position of the person who you think is you. Okay, so your individual self, this is your ego. It's your default thought system. It's your perception of the world based on that thought system in the situation. So put yourself fully into the situation, see it from the perspective of this entity, this individual self. Act as if you're in the situation, take on the appropriate physiology, as if you were in that place, sit how you would sit, talk how you would talk, etc. Right? So if there's anger arising, get angry. If there's irritation, if there's fear, really, try and embody it, really get into it, so that you allow this position to come through fully, and so you can really see it. You can close your eyes, or you can open them, depending on whichever you prefer. So your buddy is going to ask you questions like, how are you feeling? What do you see? What do you believe about your position? What do you like or dislike about this situation? What would you like to achieve in or through the situation? What's important to you? These kinds of questions. And just sort of go with the flow, try and be guided by spirit. If someone said something and then it seems intuitive to ask another question related, then ask that question. Really you want to get to see what are they thinking, what are they feeling about in this ego position, and to explore that, fully. You're going to take maybe 5 minutes for this. So address the person by name when asking these questions. So say Jackie, or Sally or Kim, how are you feeling about this? What do you see? And then use their name, personalize it with each question. Then you would break the state. So talk about something irrelevant, like the weather, or going on holiday, or won't spring be nice, or something like that, just to clear the state for 30 seconds to a minute. And then you go to position 2, which is the other person's or the other outcomes position, depending on the nature of the decision. So it might be, if it's a decision about, let's say, a job, do I stay in the job or leave? That was, Sue's decision. She's already made it, but that could be a great example of how to use this. So stay in the job or leave it and do my own thing. Those would be the different positions. So there's all different outcomes. The other person's position, if it's a relationship matter, then you go to the other person's position and say, okay, so what do they perceive in the situation? So take the position of the other person or the people involved in the situation, or of yourself in the other possible outcome of the situation, if that's appropriate for the particular situation you chose. Associate with the other person or people. So if it's another person, really try and see it through their eyes, take on their physiology, sit as they would, act as if you're them, speak like them. The idea is to try and embody the state. If any of you've done family constellations, you'll know what this is about. It's just really feeling that energy, tapping into the kind of energy field of the other person. Again, close or open your eyes. And the questions are the same for the buddy. So how are you feeling? What do you see? What do you perceive? What do you believe about your position? What do you like or dislike about the situation? What would you like to achieve, and what's important for you? And the person, you answer it in the first person. So because you're trying to embody this other person. So as though you're that person, answer it as though you're them, and you say, well, I feel this, I think this. And I just really kind of, walk for 5 minutes in their shoes and really feel what they might be feeling and experiencing. So that gives you a valuable perspective. And usually some kind of understanding and empathy will arise from that. Then again, you break the state, go to the third position, which is the Holy Spirit's position, and then you take a bird's eye view of the situation. So you're looking down at all the people involved. You ask the Holy Spirit to help you to see the situation through its eyes, rather than your ego's eyes. So you talk in the third person as though you're a neutral observer, addressing yourself. So example, what is there for, whoever to learn in the situation? How are they behaving? What's important for each person to learn? What's positive about what they're going through? What beliefs are getting in the way for whoever? What does each person value? How can all parties benefit? These kinds of questions. So questions that are trying to get you to look at a higher perspective and see it from a bird's eye view. See it from both perspectives as some kind of independent, objective observer who really just wants the highest good for both people. If two people are involved, or wants the highest good for you in whatever decision you're going to make. Again, address the person by name when asking the questions. So you go through those three positions, maybe about 15 minutes, so 5 minutes per position. Try and sort of keep on track with that. If you're a little bit over, that's okay. You've got about half an hour to do this, and then you're going to reverse. So then you're going to go back, and you're going to repeat positions 2 and 1. So go back to position 2. Get into the right state as instructed, but just follow the instructions for position 2. Break the state between position 3 and position 2. Make sure you do that, but then fully embody it. So, what's the other person thinking, feeling? Try and really get into it. and see if anything changes. The buddy asks you the questions again, and see if anything shifted in the perspective. Having been into the Holy Spirit, almost certainly you'll have a shift. You'll see it differently as the other person, or in the alternative outcome of the situation. So if it was a job, for instance, now you go back to the position of maybe leaving the job and going into your own business or something. So that just give you a different perspective. Having visited the Holy Spirit's perspective, give you a different perspective on that. If it's another person, having seen it from the Holy Spirit's perspective will give you a different view of it, and you might answer the questions differently. And you see how that shift has helped you shift your perception, your perspective on the situation. And then number one, go back to your ego's position. So that's the default you, your individual self. That's very self-interested. It's really just about, what's in it for you, avoiding pain and seeking pleasure. And see again if a shift comes in. Has there been a change that has come into this default thought system and brought a little bit of different awareness? So go through that. So as it'd be about 5 minutes each. So 25 to 30 minutes. Ideas to do to go through one person and then switch it. So the person who's been the questioner becomes the person who's doing it, the decision maker, and then the other person's the questioner, and you go again through positions 1, 2, 3, and then back to 2, back to 1. So there's 5 positions, each taking about 5 minutes, and then you've got a little 5-minute leeway in between them. But try and sort of time it and keep relatively on track. What I'm going to do is cycle through the groups. So I'm going to put you into breakout groups and in breakout rooms, and then you can do your thing with your buddy, and I can drop into the group. So I'll just go from group to group and just see how you're doing. If you have any questions, you can always send me a private message. I'm not sure how the Zoom messaging works in breakouts. I think maybe you can do that. If not, then send me a private message on Telegram and just say, I need some help here. And, I'll drop in and join you as soon as I can. Okay, so that's the exercise. That's the plan for the next hour or so. Any questions on that?
Yeah, sorry, I misunderstood the beginning. I mean, I didn't hear the beginning because I wasn't back, and I'm not sure what we have to do actually.
Okay, so you're going to work through this with your buddy. Work through the different positions. Someone's going to be the questioner. Someone's a decision maker. You pick a decision that you need to make in your life. So, you've got some issues of decisions about, which way you take your business and so on. Maybe that's it for you. And you pick that decision, and then the questioner will ask you various questions in these different positions. So your ego's position is the default position.
Mm-hmm.
Instructions are pretty clear here, so just read them. And they'll try and get you to explore that position fully for like 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go into the other outcomes position, or the other person's position. If it's related to a relationship.
The other person's outcome. The other person's.
So if it's related to a relationship, let's say you in relationship with someone and you're not sure about the relationship, you're not sure where that's going. There's a conflict with that person, then you could use this exercise with that situation. Or it could be the other outcomes position. So let's say you've got 2 outcomes in mind for your life purpose. You could say, okay, this is the ego's position would be this, and this is the alternative. Usually there's a clear choice to make. And then you explore the other outcome through these questions in the same way. The other person helps you do that. You get fully into that. And then third position, you go into the Holy Spirit. So you try and look at it from a bird's eye view a neutral perspective, you know, what's going to be for your highest good and everyone else's highest good in that.
So this
And
third
that-
one, the third position, it's the same person that got asked that's looking for a situation to deal with. The third.
Yeah, so it's the same situation, just now looked at from the Holy Spirit's perspective.
Okay.
And the question is going to ask you questions like how they're behaving, what's important for each person to learn in the situation, what's positive about what they're going through, what beliefs are getting in the way, what does each person value, how can all parties benefit. To get you to, go above the battleground, see it from a different perspective, and then you reverse and you go to positions 2 and position 1. Okay, so you reverse and you go back, having had the Holy Spirit's perspective, you go back into number 2, and you do that again, and you see what's shifted and what's changed, and then you go back to number 1, which is your ego's position, and see what's changed. And at the end of it, generally what happens is you have much more clarity. Usually the decision becomes obvious, and you feel like you've got guidance.
Okay, so it's 15 minutes each.
No, so you're going to do half an hour. Each person's got half an hour. You're going to have 5 minutes. Try and aim for 5 minutes on each position, and then move on. And I'll message the group on the Zoom. So watch your messaging, and I'll say, okay, time to move on now. I'll be dropping into the groups randomly as well. Time to move on. 5 minutes. Otherwise, it'll just take too long, and we won't finish in time. So
it's 30 minutes per person sharing their situation.
30 minutes, half an hour, because you got 5 minutes on each one. With some leeway, an extra minutes to spare. Then after half an hour, I'll say, right, switch, and then you switch, and if you were the decision maker, you become the questioner. Question maker becomes the decision maker, and they have a turn to go. So is that reasonably clear? I mean, there's instructions, so you'll need these. You'll need your course manual.
Yeah, I've got it.
Up in front of you, printed or on your computer.
Yeah.
You're going to buddy up with your buddy. So just remind me who's buddies. I know you buddies with Elaine.
Yeah.
Sally and Jackie, you're physically together. So you want to do it together, or do you want to do it with your?
We're going to do it with our buddies.
I think
Zoom. Jackie's going to do it with Lynn.
Right. Okay. Great. So I'll put you into breakout rooms then. Who else? John and
mine was Eleanor.
Yeah. Sorry. So you don't have one. Okay. So we'll buddy you up with
Could do me actually, because I don't. Is Christine here? Can't see her.
Christine. She was earlier, but then she dropped out.
Yeah.
So she's not, unfortunately. Maybe you want to message her, see if she can join us.
Okay.
Otherwise, in the next couple of minutes. Otherwise, you go with. So how many are left? There's Kim. Kim and John and Susie. Yeah. Have I missed anyone? Kim, John, and Susie. So that's 3. Am I right? It's an odd number. So message Christine or phone her and see if she can join. Otherwise, we'll just pair up. I'll be someone's buddy. So because it's a couple exercise, you have to have a dedicated buddy. So John, see if you can orchestrate that. Otherwise, I think maybe Kim and Susie. How does that resonate?
That's all right.
Yeah.
Kim and Susie can go together, and if Christine doesn't show up, I'll go with John. Okay. Any other questions before I split you into your breakout rooms?
So we're just going straight into it, Jono. I mean, we're not. We're just going to go straight into it. We don't have to sort of. Or do we need to take a minute or two just to think about.
Yeah, I mean, think about what you're gonna do, what decision that you're gonna make, that you're gonna bring to this. If that's not obvious, then let the other person go first. Then you've got half an hour to sort of think about it while you're being the buddy. But for most people, it should be fairly obvious. I mean, it's the thing that's getting you right now. What's the decision in your life that's you're not sure about, that you're uncertain about? Whatever that is, go with that. Related to a relationship or a life situation, maybe it's moving somewhere, maybe it's a new job, a new career, anything like that. That there's a bit of uncertainty about. That's the decision to logically go for. Okay. Any other questions? There's Jackie. Okay, so Jackie's joining on her phone. Sally, you going with Sue? Is that right?
Yeah, that's
You're
right.
going with Sue. Okay, Jackie with Lynn. Okay. Any other questions before I split you into your breakout rooms? No?
I haven't got a subject, but hopefully something will come to mind. I can't think of a single thing, to be fair. But obviously I'll let Jackie go first and see if something comes up.
Okay. Well, I mean, we've discussed your purpose and stuff, so maybe something to do with that. Okay. So my purpose. What am I going to do with that? Where am I going with that? And see what comes.
Okay, like what next or something? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
What next? You could stay in a comfort zone with it, doing what you're doing, or maybe there's an alternative is expand it and go somewhere with it. Maybe start doing some more video. What inspires you? There's an ego default position, which is usually a comfort zone, and then there's what takes you out of your comfort zone. So play with that. So okay, so maybe there's a position I could take. There's a decision that I could take that's a bit scary, but actually, it does also feel kind of exciting.
Okay.
And then use that one. If you're not sure, then let Jackie go first, and then you go second.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
What about if I've got nothing? I was going to let you go first, and we'll work it out.
No, Jackie, you absolutely have something. You have a whole drama in your life. That's the situation. That's what you want to do.
Okay.
When yours is obvious, and you have the perfect foil for it. So you can take it either as a relationship, or you can take it as a decision that you've got to make about what to do about it. But for you, I mean, you've got a perfect one.
Okay.
So use that situation.
Perhaps I'm kidding myself, but I thought I'd move beyond that.
Just do the exercise, because you might find you get some clarity out of it. It's designed to bring in the Holy Spirit's guidance.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right. So, any other questions, John? What's happening with Christina? Is she arriving?
I just tried to call her, but she's not responding, so I've sent her a WhatsApp.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll assume she's not able to join us for whatever reason. So, you and I can go together, and I'll just do it for you, and then I'll break away and go into. Just check on everyone, see how everyone's doing. So if anyone has any questions or problems, just I think you can do a group message, even when you're in breakout rooms. So you can message the whole group, just message, and then I'll get it, and I'll come and help you or message you back, and I might pop in just into everyone's room from time to time as well. Why don't you? John, is Sue there? Or is she out? Because she could be your questioner.
She's busy, actually.
Is she busy? Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we'll do it then. So just so I'm clear, so it's Lynn. Lynn's going with Jackie, Susie with Kim, Elaine, Aurelie, myself, John, and Sally with Sue. Okay, so let's see how we accomplish this. Sign manually. Create. So how many breakout was that? 5 breakout rooms. I think so, eh? Did I just give 5? Is it 5 pairs? I
Yeah.
think so.
Including
5.
you, yeah.
Yeah, 5. Okay. Sign manually. Can I sign myself to a room? It's a good question. No. So actually, what we're going to do, John, is we'll stay in the main room. I think that's how it works. So I'll
And
do 4.
when you do it with me, I assume
Yeah.
you're not doing it for you, so you'll have half the time to.
Yeah, I can then go and just check on everyone else to make sure everyone's okay. Okay,
Or
so I'll
you
do 4
can first
breakout.
start. You can first start to check if everything's okay, and then do the 30 minutes with John.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea. I'll do
Yeah.
that, John. If you could just
Yeah.
be patient for 10
Yeah.
minutes or something, or 15 minutes, and then I'll come to you just to make sure everyone's good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you can actually choose your own room. Interesting. But that might get confusing. So I'll assign it manually, and none of this is recorded. Yeah. So the recording doesn't actually record in breakout rooms. It stops the recording. Sure, quite what happens on YouTube, but I'll stop the recording manually just to make sure it doesn't record anything. So none of it's recorded.
We could record our own sessions, couldn't we?
Yeah,
On our
if you want to
phones?
record your own session, then record it on your phones or whatever, on your computer. So you've got the recording of it, because obviously Zoom can't yet record 5 different groups. It's not possible. Maybe it is, I don't know, but they don't allow it. So so okay, I'm gonna sign everyone manually now. So we can split out, and I'll drop in from time to time and just see how you're going. So half an hour each. Half an hour for the first, for one person, then switch the next half an hour. So try and keep it to like 5 minutes per position. Has everyone got the course manual up on page 58? Has everyone got those instructions in front of them? If you're going to need them if you have a question.
Page 57.
This is page 57. Page 57.
Yeah, and 58.
Yeah. Yeah, use it.
Exercise 10 we're doing.
Exercise 10.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've got mine on page 50. Has it changed?
Page 58. Yeah, it's actually it's on 58 in mine.
I
It's
also
it's
got
the
page
latest.
50, but it's because it's been re-edited afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've got
yeah.
50 as
But
well.
it's exercise 10.
Mm.
So
Okay,
the
so it's
actual
the same
exercise
thing then.
hasn't. Yeah, it's the same thing. Actually, exercise hasn't changed. So mine's on page 58 because it was the latest edition of the manual. But anyway, you've all got, it's in whatever edition there is. So make sure you've got that, and off we go. I'm going to split you up now, and enjoy. We'll see you again in back in, yeah, that should be in perfect timing because it's now almost 3 o'clock UK time. So that should finish just in time for Sue has to go. So off we go. Create. Okay, so room 1, sign. Sign. Room 1, Elaine and okay.
Hi.
Room
Hi,
2,
Aurelie.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. I thought I was
with
in the
Jackie.
room.
Yeah, I'll see you in
Have
an
fun,
hour. See you on
everyone.
the other side. See you on the other side. Jackie and Lynn go in room 2. Kim and Susie and Sally and Sue, and then John. That leaves us in the main room. Okay, so open all rooms. Enjoy, everyone. See you in an hour, or I'll see you soon. I'll drop in. Okay. All right, so everyone's going. I'll just pause this recording. It doesn't allow you to pause it on YouTube, but anyway.